So in the last video, I explained what PESSPA was. So it was PE, school sport, and physical activity. Now, how does that look in your school day? So PE, here in Northern Ireland, it's recommended that we have 2 hours of PE a week, right? So that gives us enough time then to break down all of our skill sets, or taking a certain strand of maybe dance, gymnastics, games, or athletics. Breaking that down, some teachers, and you will find it, and I empathize because you are time poor. How do we break that down? Break that down into smaller chunks, and it doesn't always have to be done in the PE hall or outside. So if you can only get a 30 or 40-minute session one day, are you able to perform some of those movements in the classroom? So if it is, for example, gymnastics, are you able to work a bit more on your balancing? If you are doing games and you're teaching throwing and catching, are you able to bring bean bags into the classroom and have it more controlled, so you're working on partner throwing with accuracy? These are small things that will help improve your PE. So we're actually teaching the skill in PE. It's not about getting kids physically active all the time. Yes, it helps, but you teach the skill in PE. That is key. So that might be some ideas as well, having your normal PE slot, but can you actually add it into the classroom as well? So small breaks where you're bringing it in. Okay, guys, let's get up. We're focusing on our throwing and catching. Everybody partner up, beanbag. Who can do 10 with one hand? Who can do 10 with the other hand? Brilliant. Now, next time we're going to bring in a ball, or we're bringing a piece of paper, a different object maybe to throw and catch. You're focusing then too on your PE strand in the classroom. Next up, we are looking at school sport. So school sport, how can we improve on that, or how does that fit into our day? Setting up leagues is probably one. So internally, you can set up maybe a morning league if you had and pick a different sport. Might be a basketball league. I remember actually doing this in my secondary school. Used to love that. We didn't really have much basketball, but a little league was set up. So a morning league, maybe a lunchtime league, and after school a wee competition. Again, in my primary school, we used to run, it was the Italian league. So you only pick teams from Italy. Amazing. I still remember it to this day. So that was all our school. So that's kind of internal. Can you set up many competitions? And I would advise you to pick different sports. It doesn't have to be the most best laid out thing. Go online, find out a fixture generator. It'll do everything for you. And then just be there. Make it fun, make it exciting for the kids. Play it 4v4, 5v5, keep it small-sided games. Then we're looking at external. So adding into or competing in as many competitions as you can. Now, I know there's financial strains with this about getting buses, etc. But can you even communicate with schools around you who are close, that you can maybe come to a school each time? So you're using your school facilities, or you're using one of the local football clubs or council that can actually maybe help give that out for free. So those are a few things that you can do, internal and external, to improve school sport. My big takeaway from that would be, make sure you're giving children an opportunity in a variety of sports. That is key. Next of all, physical activity. 60 minutes every day of vigorous activity for children in the primary school age. So that means that they're really able to be working out, moving, and they would find it hard to hold a conversation. So if you are jogging on the spot for a while, if you start increasing that, high knees, star jumps, etc., you're going to find it hard to hold a conversation. So again, that's kind of vigorous activity. Now, how do we implement that into the school day? Number one, what we're going to look at is the morning. What amazing time to get kids physically active. You don't need to focus on the skill, because that's in PE. Just get them moving. So your daily mile, again, I have another video on this, on the daily time. It's an amazing initiative, but if you could increase that by the vigorous activity, by get them moving more, if some of them are just always walking it, what initiatives can you do? The daily time is another one. I would check that video out that I've done, which kind of implements all of that. So getting them moving, even just set up a running club, that just change the name. First thing in the morning before school starts, maybe a running club. Then what we have our movement breaks. When you're doing your movement breaks, can you make them more physically active? Even if it's a 5-minute movement break of being really physically active, Again, you can check out some of ours on our YouTube channel or on our online portal. Those are amazing because they get the kids' heart rate up, they get them moving, their brain is focused, it's released all their BDNF or their protein, etc. It's amazing the chemical reaction that happens in the brain. So doing that for movement breaks. Then lunchtime support is key. So our lunchtime program, I call it lunchtime support because that's what we help deliver. If you were setting up different areas in your playground where you had different activities going on, and maybe the children were in their class colours or in their year groups, or I know some have house names, that each house goes into a certain area. They do the activity there. After a minute or so, the lunchtime support staff, whoever's in the playground, rotate them around to the next one. And you're setting up not always totally organised, but structured and unstructured play, getting them moving, getting them physically active, skipping ropes, hula hoops, playing a game of football in a small area, playing tennis, get those rackets out that are sitting in your store and let the children move and explore. So that's lunchtime as well. Then you get another movement break throughout your day, straight after lunch, or even if it's a wet break, get those kids moving. Then moving into your after school clubs. If you don't want to focus on the sports side of it, make it more physically active. Do a fun circuit with the kids. Make it really, you can combine both. You combine a bit of the sport and the physical activity. So there's loads there to do. Within that time frame, and I know teachers are time poor, you can actually keep kids physically active for vigorous activity for 60 minutes. Now, feeling we don't get that, at least if we've done 30 minutes of that, half of that, it only means that they really need to be active for 30 minutes outside of school. And that's where we can help support parents. We can encourage children to go to different clubs outside, different groups. So that is our big one. So that's how we could implement it into a school throughout the full day. And even when you look at it, guys, look at your school PE, school sport and physical activity, not in a daily concept, but a weekly. How can you actually factor in all this weekly and then break it down into chunks? So that's hopefully a little help and support and advice for you guys. Thank you. Bye.